Okay, let's be honest. This relationship is weird. It's just as weird as Jennifer Hudson's outfits, alright? I don't know if she wants to be Mary Poppins or she's in some type of Russian couture. Nothing matches with them. Not the outfits, not the direction of the camera they're looking at, or the musical choices. It's just, Jennifer Hudson looks like she was just in somebody else's closet. I think he's just trying to get inspiration for his new record, and she's trying to meet some hip-hop producers, because I don't understand. Hopefully he also introduces her to his stylist. This is the most uncommon thing I've seen.
It appears that Common became aware of his romance with Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer is not the person to toy with just now, as he discovered the hard way. I'm sure you all remember when Jennifer and Common recently revealed their relationship to the world. Word on the street is that Common already cheated on Jennifer with the mystery woman after becoming lustful for her. However, Jennifer was not going to let that lion get away with it, so she snapped at him, dragged him for filth, and dumped him like a hot potato. Okay, everyone, you all need to sit down because Jennifer is not going to let him get away with it.
So, yes, and I'm in a relationship that is with one of the most beautiful people I ever met in life. And she's smart, she loves God, she has something real down to earth about her. She's talented, but I set my standard kind of high because she had to have an EGOT. She had to win an Oscar on her first movie. I set my standard high. She had to get her own talk show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
Hey, everyone. It appears that Common has been killing it in the city, despite the fact that he is in a committed relationship with Jennifer Hudson. Or at least, that's what we thought it was. And that Jennifer was the only one who was being committed. I know that sounds horrible, but many of you saw this coming. And to be honest, Stevie Wonder could have predicted this because of his track record of previous relationships with women. Yes, it's not all that shocking that he's now being accused of having an affair with Jennifer. In fact, I have to add that he stepped out on the winner of the EGOT Award. Being unfaithful to Jennifer Hudson is so unacceptable. She is a self-proclaimed EGOT winner and one of the most gifted women in the world, that it should be illegal or something. Though I'm not trying to victimize Jennifer or anything, a lot of fans have worn her down. Even Common's ex-girlfriend Tiffany Haddish went above and beyond to try to convince Jennifer of the kind of person Common was, though to be fair, Tiffany wasn't doing it for charity or anything like that. Common was supposed to love her, but she turned her back and found herself on the line. Because she was purportedly being spiteful and mocking the new partnership since she still had feelings for him and detested the idea that he had moved on to someone else. Hey, everyone. Tiffany began making disparaging remarks before she even waited for Jennifer or Common to come forward and formally declare their connection. Sincerely, Tiffany didn't let the unconfirmed, juicy gossip lines here and there deter her from hating. I often appreciated Tiffany's commitment to being a strong supporter, but she also made an effort to warn Jennifer about the fact that she was just a common playboy who would hurt her. In all honesty, Tiffany was probably in the best position to warn Jennifer about what she was getting into, because not only had he broken her heart twice, but also because of all the shady things he did to her during their dating relationship, and the fact that he didn't always treat her the way she wanted to be treated. Now that Tiffany had put everything she had into trying to make the short that he saw into and to get him to love her the way she wanted, she had always had high hopes that he would be the man for her. They first felt a connection in 2019 while working together on the film The Kitchen, and Tiffany developed love for each other before the film even ended, unless, wait, this doesn't seem to be the case based on the comments below. His movie castmate is the only person I've heard of him seeing, but who knows? He might have, but to be fair, even though Tiffany was the first to show signs of feeling something, and you all know that Common knows when and how to turn up our riz, it didn't take long for Tiffany to fall deeply in love with him. However, at the last second, he pulled the rug out from under her, ending their conversation stage and opting to reconcile with his former girlfriend, Angela Rod. You would think that this would have been the cue for Tiffany to move on and take her loss like a champ while dealing with the fact that she had been duped. But no, that's not how it worked out at all, because Tiffany was more than willing to sit on the sidelines and wait for Common and Angela's relationship to fall apart. Tiffany was devastated by this because she thought she had a solid thing going, but Common wasn't on the same page with her, and he didn't feel her like she was feeling him. Tiffany didn't have to wait long because Common dumped Angela in a matter of weeks, so in the end, her long suffering paid off. After all, Common didn't have a reputation for being able to maintain relationships, so it was only a matter of time before things with Angela hit the rocks as well. However, after splitting up with Angela Common, she made the snap decision to turn around and go back to Tiffany. You can bet your bottom dollar that she was ready to go back to him right away and didn't try to pretend or make him earn it because she took him back and fell in love all over again. At first, they tried to handle things privately, but that quickly went awry when the lockdown occurred and they were quarantined together.
Hey, listen, so we'll continue to talk about the other tea a little later. Yeah. What?
Common. You're not ready?
You get cut off, and you motherfuckers brought the tea.
Now we realize that Tiffany and Dwayne Wade were unquestionably together when they went live on Instagram with Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, and we noticed a shared background. For a little background, Erica and Comment began dating in 2000, and they dated for 2 years before Erica ended things on her own in late 2002. Initially, Erica didn't want to discuss the breakup in great detail, but Common was more than happy to hear it, and he chastised Erica for breaking up with him over the phone because she had feelings for someone else. She handed it to me. I was in my hotel room on tour. She called me and was like, "Hey, I don't want to be in this relationship no more." I'm like, "It's somebody else that was my first love and my first heartbreak." He additionally disclosed that he was devastated by Erica's breakup. With Erykah Badu, that was my first love when you just open and floating. He said when we split, I was 27 to 28. I was in a haze, just going through the motions. It was hard to eat. Erica was like, "I guess I'll see you in another lifetime." But she eventually got enough of him making her look terrible by narrating his depressing narrative from his point of view, and she hinted that there may have been some infidelity involved in the split. No infidelity is not a deal-breaking for me. We're all born beings. I myself am not someone with a very high libido. I don't require intimacy for happiness. I need companionship. I need a partner I can depend on that I can love and grow with. But I do understand the nature of these men I've been with. And men in general, they have the need to chase. I mean it when I say that this man has a bad reputation. But after he broke up with Angela, he tried to redeem himself by claiming that he had gone to therapy and was willing to be a better partner and all that blah, 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 even though he was allegedly unfaithful to her. He also attempted to spin the story of the breakup as Erica's fault and accused her of seeing movies for another man.
Long dream.
And you write a lot about you want to be a husband one day. You have a rather famous relationship coach.
Oh, yeah, yes, Michelle Obama, she has definitely helped talk me through just certain moments of relationships. We had conversations, and she has given me a lot of wisdom. But one great thing that she told me as I was going through this journey was that you have to understand you're not going to get anybody that's perfect because you're not perfect. So understand that there's some certain things that you will compromise in choosing that partner, but as long as the core values, the values that are most important to you, that person, marks off on that list, then you good.
She gave you some good advice there.
That's good wisdom.
That's some really good wisdom there.
Yeah.
But it didn't quite work out since Common abruptly turned around on Tiffany and told the paparazzi that he had no intention of popping the question as soon as she began to talk about getting engaged.
I'm gonna do what's good for me and the lady. You know, right now all I want is happiness, good times, peace on earth.
We could tell at this point that he had already emotionally checked out of the relationship, but Tiffany hadn't quite gotten the memo. But similar to when he split up with Erykah Badu, he tried to play it off as a mutual breakup by claiming that they both had busy schedules, twisting the truth to make himself look less like the bad guy.
Well, I think once Tiffany and I got back on the move, it really didn't allow for us to spend as much time and put as much energy into our relationship. I don't think the love really dispersed. I just think it was just like we weren't feeding the relationship.
By all means, he tried to avoid being the antagonist, but that failed since Tiffany was not going to keep quiet about what had transpired. Instead, she chose to provide her side of the story and confess that he broke her heart. She didn't mean to say this either. He might be the type of person that never really settles down with some body baby. He's like, like a bee going from flower to flower to flower. I don't know. I wish nothing but joy and happiness. However, she didn't stop there because she has spoken about Common ever since. For that reason, when I tell you that she would be the ideal person to inform Jennifer Hudson about the kind of person Common is, I'm not kidding. Prior to Common and Jennifer's relationship, they frequented the same Hollywood circles, according to a source who knew both of them. They've known each other for years. Things took Arctic turn while they were filming in Philadelphia over the summer. When the day shoot wrapped, they'd always find their way to each other's side. Naturally, Jennifer attempted to play coy, saying, "People create their own narratives of it. We shot a film together, and he played my husband. We got to eat in between those moments, however, when the movie wrapped. Many noticed them out on a date in Malibu, making it more difficult for them to deny it." An insider said that he even took a plane to London for the premiere of her musical, A Strange Loop. There has been speculation for months regarding whether or not they're together, but the fact that they've traveled all the way to London together just shows they're very much an item. They arrived to the show individually to avoid any commotion, but away from prying eyes, they were very much in each other's company. Eventually, though, they disclosed their connection when Jennifer asked him if he was seeing anyone, to which he replied in the affirmative.
So, yes, and I'm in a relationship that is with one of the most beautiful people I ever met in life. And she's smart, she loves God, she has something real down to earth about her. She's talented, but I set my standard kind of high because she had to have an EGOT. She had to win an Oscar on her first movie. I set my standard high. She had to get her own talk show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Things began to go wrong for them at this time since there were stories circulating about how difficult their relationship was becoming. It all began when Tiffany Haddish said that, despite the passage of 2 years, she was still hurting from the separation. "It was the healthiest, the funniest relationship I ever had. It's where I felt safest out of all the relationships I've ever had. The breakup wasn't mutual. It was more him saying, 'I think this relationship has run this course.' And I was like, okay, like you going to be a 50-year-old single man." Okay, people began to notice that Tiffany shared something in common at that point, and they gave her the side eye for discussing a relationship that had ended 2 years prior, especially since the man in question had already found a new job and was giving obsession. However, Tiffany was actually speaking the truth when she said that Common wasn't the lover boy he had claimed to be. Since he remained the same old person, according to recent reports, Jennifer learned the hard way what kind of person Common is, and things don't seem good for their relationship. Common has reportedly been trying to make things official with Jennifer. That is, settle down, get married, and all that. But Jennifer isn't keen on doing that, because she finds his background to be far too mysterious. particularly given her concerns that he may have cheated on her. According to an insider, after her engagement with South, Jennifer was adamant that she would never marry, that it just wasn't in the cards for her. But then Common came into her life and swept her off her feet. Common tells Jen, despite his past with so many famous women, he's in the relationship for keeps. But Jen felt that way when she was engaged for 9 years, and she doesn't want to end up with the broken marriage and be back at square one now for some background. Everyone. This little insider message is about Jennifer's failed engagement to David Otunga, a wrestler and I Love New York participant, and the toxic nature of their relationship when she attempted to end it. Jennifer hasn't actually dated since then until it became common that we know about, because the relationship was so toxic. Hence, it makes sense that she would be quite picky about the man she wishes to have a family with. Following a few weeks of dating after being introduced by a mutual acquaintance, Jennifer and David Otunga became engaged in 2008, less than a year after they first started dating. It happened quite quickly, but even so, they were so in love and excited to start a family that they had to put their preparations for marriage on hold for the time being. Jennifer's mother, brother, and nephew perished at the hands of their brother-in-law. That Jennifer had a nightmare. That year she became pregnant, and that year they welcomed their son, David Jr. At that point, Jennifer began to recover from her nightmare, but rumors began to circulate that the couple's relationship wasn't as flawless as it appeared to be. They repeatedly put off getting married, saying they were waiting for justice in the killings of Jennifer's mother, brother, and nephew. That was something that was hanging over our heads for so long, and now we feel like we can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Everything is good now. However, that was clearly an excuse, and fans soon noticed some serious red flags, such as David's seeming insecurity, Jennifer's ascent up the Hollywood ladder, and her increased attention to her appearance and body. He didn't like that she was becoming too famous and attractive. He liked it when she was heavy. But then she got so skinny on something Jennifer hinted at in an interview. "What does your fiancé think? Does he like the new svelte?" Jennifer responded, "He's getting adjusted to it. He's not really into change that much, so he fusses at me like, 'Why do you have to get all dressed up to go out? Why can't you just go out like you used to?' And I'm like, 'I'm a walking billboard, honey.' Since Jennifer isn't the kind of celebrity to get involved in messy drama, the fact that she was willing to follow this through to the end says a lot about things and how they were going behind the scenes. She claimed that David turned on her when things started to go south in the relationship, telling her that he was a bad father to their son and a bad partner to her. They ended up splitting up for good in 2017, and boy, oh boy, did things get messy. Leaks court documents show that she accused him of domestic violence, claiming that he had become aggressive, threatening, and harassing her physically and mentally. She also accused him of being excessively jealous, to the point where his accusations against her made no sense at all. David and his legal representatives promptly began their defense, alleging that Jennifer had cheated on him with half of Hollywood's males. And that's why she had become so well known. However, Jennifer refuted the accusation, claiming that he had cheated on her and that, additionally, he had become so envious of her success that he had used their son as a pawn in his schemes to have him spy on her. Things worsened, according to Jennifer, when David began sending her extremely frightening messages whenever she was at the studio. The drama didn't end there because he was waiting for her when she got home, where he allegedly got physical, grabbed their son, and dragged her around. The messages were so bad that she had to call security for fear that he might show up to the studio and cause trouble. Thankfully, he didn't. To put it mildly, the image is not appealing. Once more, David refuted these claims that Jennifer was attempting to portray him as the bad guy in order to win over followers and the media, and according to his attorney, he denies each and every allegation Hudson has made against him, and that at no time did Mr. Otunga physically push Miss Hudson as she has alleged. As a control tactic, Jennifer also accused him of playing mind games with her, such as the time he allegedly left a gun out on the kitchen table to play mind games with her. I won't lie. This was a very strange attempt at mind games, especially since Jennifer had experienced some serious trauma related to guns in the past. I mean, gun violence claimed the lives of her mother, brother, and nephew on the same day. Thus, it was extremely sinister when he allegedly attempted to manipulate her head with a gun. However, David's legal team presented an alternate account, claiming that the gun was merely a fictitious prop he had used for an audition, and that he informed Jennifer of this when she saw it, despite the fact that Jennifer has always insisted that this was sufficient intimidation to manipulate her head in such a way that he remained silent. Mr. Otunga has never abused or harassed Miss Hudson or their son, and it is very unfortunate. And it is unfortunate, especially in today's climate, that she would feel the need to make these false allegations against him. Mr. Otunga looks forward to his day in court and in being awarded the residential care of the party's only child. Additionally, he asserted that Jennifer was fabricating tales to garner sympathy and paint him as an unsuitable father in order to obtain custody of their son, according to his attorney. He has never abused or harassed Miss Hudson or their son. The attorney continued by asserting that David had been attempting for a number of weeks to discuss the parameters of an amicable parenting agreement with Jennifer, and that the singer and actress were attempting to gain an unfair advantage in the custody dispute by filing her order. The lawyer added that David looks forward to his day in courted in being awarded the residential care of the party's only child indeed. The relationship was a complete mess, which explains why Jennifer is so cautious in her relationship with Common. According to an insider, Jennifer believes that Common has a great deal of audacity to cheat on her and then propose to her as though it didn't matter. I'm not trying to be judgmental or anything. This is why Jennifer is so cautious in their relationship. However, Common isn't exactly known for being dependable in his relationships. According to insider Jennifer, he feels that the reason he became fixated on reposting was because he was trying to keep her from leaving him after his infidelity. However, I'm curious about your thoughts on this. Are you relieved that Jennifer and Common might be splitting up, or do you believe she should give him another chance? Leave a comment below with your ideas, and then watch this following video.